Hello, welcome to this lecture. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the doubly reinforced beam, and this is the content that we are going to discuss in this lecture. So first, we will try to understand what is doubly reinforced beam. So till now, we know that a rectangular beam, which is of reinforced concrete, it is made up of particular combination of grade of concrete and steel, and it has a definite MR. So if I make a diagram of the beam, which is mainly the singly reinforced beam. So, and this is the B and small d, and this is the neutral axis. So this beam has a definite MR, and what is MR? MR is basically the moment of resistance. So we know that the formula of moment of resistance is actually stress multiplied by area multiplied by lever arm. So this stress is actually the permissible stress, and area is basically dependent on the dimension, which is B into D, and lever arm is again dependent on the dimension, which is uh, D. So it actually depends on D. So now this MR will be definite for a particular combination of grade of concrete and steel. So grade of concrete can be M20, M25, M30, and this grade have a different value of permissible stresses. For example, M20 has permissible stress 7 Newton per mm square. Similarly, for M25, it has 8.5. Similarly, for M30, it is 9. So you can see as the grade of concrete is increasing, the permissible stresses is increasing, and which means the moment of resistance will be increased. So now as it is a definite MR, now in case if we have to increase the moment of resistance of the same section, now how do we increase that? So now we have option, either we increase the grade of concrete. So for example, in the earlier case, if we are using M20, then what we can do is we can increase the grade of concrete. Similarly, the steel grade, if we are using earlier the grade of steel as Fe250, in that case, what we can do is we can increase the grade of concrete, say Fe415. Now, that is one option. Now, another option is to increase the area. Now, area can be increased when the dimension of the beam can be increased. Now, basically, in the dimension, we will increase the D value. Why? Because the neutral axis lies in the depth. So by increasing the D value, the area will be increased and moment of resistance will be increased. And by increasing the D value, lever arm will also increase. Okay. So that is the second option, like we can increase the dimension. Now, if we increase the dimension, then obviously the beam will be having higher depth. This higher depth of beam may not be desirable in some cases. Say, for example, in case of architectural consideration, we may have restriction for increment of the depth, and at the same time, the load may be larger. It may be a heavier load, and to carry that heavy load, we may be required a beam of more size to carry that load. So in that case, we have to increase the depth, but depth cannot be increased because of the architectural restrictions. So in that case, we are again left with one more option, and that one more option will be to increase the quantity of the steel. Now here we have a definite quantity of the steel, but what we can do is we can increase the quantity of the steel, and to balance this steel area, neutral axis will get down, say like this. Why? Because to balance this steel area, we need more concrete area. So in the earlier case, concrete was up to this one, but as the quantity of steel is increasing, the neutral axis will get down, because ultimately uh, concrete which is resisting the compressive force, and steel which is resisting the tensile force, they have to be same. So in that case, to balance this increment, I mean this increased quantity of the steel, the concrete area will have to be increased, and in that case neutral axis will get down. Now if we are increasing the steel, what is happening actually? Our concrete, our this section will become over reinforced, which means we are providing quantity of the steel more than required, and in that case this section will become over reinforced, and over reinforced sections are not desirable. Why? Because the failure of the over reinforced section is sudden, and that is why providing over reinforced section is not desirable. So which means this third option, to increase the quantity of the steel, is not viable. Now we have another option, and that option will actually evolve another type of beam, which is called the doubly reinforced beam. So we will see that in the next slide. So till now what I have discussed, it is written here, you can read it. So now I'm moving to the next slide. So in the next slide, it is written, to increase the moment of resistance of the beam section of limited dimension, a doubly reinforced beam is being provided. Now, what is doubly reinforced beam? That we have to see. So using this figure, now we will understand. In the doubly reinforced beam, see, this is the first diagram. This is the first diagram which is showing the singly reinforced beam. So singly reinforced beam has area of steel here, and neutral axis will be say here. So now earlier options that I have discussed, they may not work. Now the next option which I have discussed earlier, we will adopt that. So what we can do is to increase the quantity of the steel, like what I am doing is I am increasing the, I mean I'm providing the steel in on the compression zone. So in the singly reinforced beam, till now we have assumed that compression will be borne by the concrete and tension will be borne by the steel. So that was the concept in case of singly reinforced beam. Now in case of doubly reinforced beam, what we are doing is we are saying that compression will be borne by concrete as well as by the steel. So what we are doing in case of doubly reinforced beam is we are providing extra reinforcement here to increase the compressive capability of this beam. Similarly, when we are increasing the, I mean when we are providing the compressive steel, so to balance this compressive steel, we are actually providing extra tensile reinforcement. So this tensile reinforcement will balance the compressive force carried by this concrete, and this extra tensile reinforcement will balance the compressive force carried by this compressive reinforcement. So basically, doubly reinforced beam is actually the combination of singly reinforced beam and this model, which is provision of the compressive steel. So to balance this compressive steel, we have provided extra tensile reinforcement. So that is the concept of doubly reinforced beam. So in the third diagram, you can see this is the doubly reinforced beam, and it consists area of steel in compression. So we represent area of steel in compression as ASC, and area of steel in tension, we have done it by summing up AST1 plus AST2. So AST1 was the steel responsible to, I mean, this is the steel we are representing as AST1, and this AST is balancing the force carried by this concrete, and this AST is balancing the force carried by this area of steel. So total area of steel will be AST1 plus AST2. Okay, so that is the concept of doubly reinforced beam. So therefore, when the beam is reinforced with steel in compression as well as in tension zone, then we call this beam as doubly reinforced beam. So ultimately what we have done in this doubly reinforced beam is that we have made this beam strong in compression side as well as in the tension side. So that is the concept of doubly reinforced beam. So we will discuss this. We will continue our discussion in the next part. Thank you.